Students, today we are going to study the fourth chapter of your book First Fly, that is from the diary of Anne Frank, written by Anne Frank. That is, this chapter is an autobiography written by a girl named Anne Frank, and she wrote this diary at the age of 13, at a very small age. So, we can say that this lesson is an excerpt from the autobiography written by Anne Frank, and the name of the diary or name of the novel that was published is Diary of a Young Girl, which was published in 1947. In this diary, Anne expresses her thought, which was gifted to her on her 13th birthday. So, this diary was gifted by her father on her 13th birthday, and she names the diary as Kitty, which she considers as her only true friend, and she discussed and shared everything, all her feelings and thoughts with the diary only, because she considered it meaningless to discuss it with any human friend, because according to her she did not have any close friend. So she mentions in this diary, she mentions about her childhood, her family, and a lot other things, that is the various incidents which she remembered. So this chapter describes, or this is the part of the novel which was written by, or the diary which was written by Anne Frank. So now let's see. Now I'll give you a brief introduction of this girl, Anne Frank. Anne Frank was born on 12th June 1929 and died in 1945. She was a German-born Jewish girl, and she wrote a diary while hiding with her family and 4 friends in Amsterdam during the German occupation of the Netherlands in the Second World War. So Anne Frank lived in Holland after Hitler invaded Germany. So they had to remain in hiding to escape Hitler's persecution of the Jews, because Hitler was a Nazi. The Nazi had overtaken, they came into power in Germany, and Hitler, he hated the Jews, so Jews had to hide themselves in order to escape the torture of the Nazis and Hitler. So she, along with her family, moved to Amsterdam, but got trapped when the Nazis occupied Netherlands. The Jewish population was being persecuted. They were caught and they were tortured and killed, and so the family of Anne Frank went into hiding in July 1942 in Anne's father Otto Frank's office building, and they remained in hiding for 2 years. Then they were shifted to a concentration camp. And what is a concentration camp? It is a camp where the people are tortured, where in this concentration camp Anne died due to typhus within few days of her sister Margot Frank. So her elder sister Margot Frank also died, and with the death of her sister, she also died within few days, and their father Otto was the only survivor in the family. So then further, after the war ended, Otto, he returned to Amsterdam and found Anne's diary, and he got it published under the name The Diary of a Young Girl, and it gives a detailed account of her life from 12th June 1942 until the final entry on 1st August 1944. So the diary, it was originally written in Dutch language, and it became one of the world's most widely read books. It became very famous, and it was read by many people, and many films and television and theatrical productions and an opera have been based on the diary. So Anne Frank has become one of the most famous and talked about Holocaust victims. So this chapter, as it describes the sufferings of the people or the condition of the people, or it highlights the destruction caused by the war. So Anne is one of the most talked about victim of this destruction, this large scale destruction. Holocaust is a large scale or massive destruction that took place in the Second World War. So this was the introduction. Now we'll move to the chapter. Now let's see to the activity which is on the next page, which says that, do you keep a diary? Given below under A are some terms we use to describe a written record of personal experience. Can you match them with their description under B? And you may look up the terms in the dictionary if you wish. So here you have to match the various the diaries which are mentioned below, and you have to match it with the correct definition. So first is journal. Journal is what? Journal is actually a written record of events with times and dates. Usually it is official. And diary, what is diary? Diary is a book with a separate space or page for each day in which you write down your thoughts and feelings or what has happened on that day. And log, what is a logbook? Log is a full record of journey, a period of time or an event written every day. And the last is memoir. Memoir is again a written record of events with times and dates, and it is also usually official. So this was about this. Now let's see to the next question. Here are some entries from personal records, and use the definitions above to decide which of the entries might be from a diary, journal, a log or a memoir. So first one is, I woke up very late today and promptly got a scolding from mum. I can't help it. How can I miss the FIFA World Cup? So this is what it is a diary. Next is 10:30 am, went to the office of the director, had 1 pm lunch with chairman, received Rahul. 5:45 pm on the airport, dinner at home. So what is it? It is actually a log, which just keep the entry of the date of the event, date and time of the event. Next is, the ride to Ooty was eventful. We rested for a while every 50 kilometer or so and used the time to capture the magnificent landscape with my handy cam. From Ooty we went to Bangalore. What a contrast! The noise and pollution of this once beautiful city really broke my heart. So what is it? It is a journal. Next, this is how Raj Kapoor found me, all wet and ragged outside RK Studios. He was then looking for just someone like this for a small role in Mera Naam Joker, and he cast me on the spot. The rest, as they say, is history. So this is a memoir or a memory which a person shares, usually the celebrities, used by the celebrities. Now let's move on to the next page. Now we will begin with the chapter. The chapter says that writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me, not only because I've never written any diary before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the musings. So musings is what? It is a period of reflection or thoughts of a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing, and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. So again, this is a proverb, or if you can say it is a phrase. So we will see to the meaning of this paragraph. In this paragraph, the author feels that it is a strange and unusual for her to write in a diary about her feelings and experiences, because it was the first time she was doing it. She feels this because she thinks that in the future no one would be interested in reading about a young school-going girl's past. She thinks that later even she will not be interested in reading it. But then she puts these thoughts away and decides that she would write if she feels like doing so. She feels the need to write because There were a lot of thoughts she had been holding on to lately, and she needed to get them off her mind. That means she has to put all her thoughts in words. It is known that writing one's thought act as a therapy, and this she makes the decision of writing a diary. Then further, the second paragraph says that paper has more patience than people. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hand, bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. I finally stayed where I was, brooding. Yes, paper does have more patience, and since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff bag is the binded notebook, grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend. It probably won't make a big difference. Now I'm back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. So, in this paragraph, Anne Frank just expresses her thought that, or expresses why she chose to write instead of sharing her feelings with any human friend, or because in this she has said that she did not have any true friend whom she could share her feelings and thoughts, and she feels that paper only has more patience than people. So first we'll see to the meaning of the hard words in the paragraph. Listless means with no energy or interest. Brooding means engaged in or showing deep thought about something that makes one sad, angry or worried. And prompted means provoke. So in this paragraph the narrator says and says that paper has more capacity to absorb thoughts than people. People have low patience level, but a piece of paper, being a non-living thing, would not refuse from absorbing her thoughts. This realization came to her one day when she was feeling more sad and confused than usual. She could not even decide whether to go out or stay at home at that time. When she finally decided to stay at home, and she sat being depressed and in deep thought, again she thought that paper had more patience, and she decided to write everything that came in her mind, because she did not intend on making someone read it unless she found a real friend. By real friend, she meant a friend with whom she could share all her secrets. The author then comes back to the point where she thought of beginning to write, and it is because she is lonely and has no friend to talk. So it is seen that usually the people who are introvert, who does not have the habit of sharing the things with any other person, only writes a diary. Many people are in a habit of writing a diary. Now the next paragraph says, let me put it more clearly, since no one else believes that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world, and I am not. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister, and there are about 30 people I can call friends. I have a family, loving aunts, and a good home. No, on the surface, I seem to have everything except my one true friend. All I think about when I am with friends is having a good time. I can't bring myself to talk about anything but ordinary everyday things. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that's the problem. Maybe it's my fault that we don't confide in each other. Confide means do not trust to tell the personal things or private things to anybody. In any case, that's just how things are, and unfortunately they are not liable to change. This is why I've started the diary. So in this paragraph the narrator says that she then goes on explaining why she feels the need for a friend. She feels that no one is going to believe that a young girl like her is so alone, with which practically she is not, because she has a loving family, near about 30 people that can be called friends, loving aunts, and a good place to stay. This depicts a clear picture of a happy family, but the one thing that lacks in her life is the presence of a true friend. So, therefore, she says that she does have a good time with friends. They talk about stuff, but not real stuff that is actually going on in their lives. Despite trying hard, they are unable to get closer. She feels that maybe it is her who is not able to trust anyone with her private stuff, that she is not able to come any closer to her friends. She feels that the current situation, that is the situation of the war, cannot be changed, and thus she needs to write her feelings in the diary till she finds a true friend with whom she could discuss her feelings. Then in the next paragraph, the narrator says, the last paragraph of this page, to enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do, but I want the diary to be my friend, and I am going to call this friend Kitty, since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty. If I were to plunge right in, I'd better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. So, first see to the meaning of the hard words. Enhance means intensify or increase, and plunge means to jump or dive quickly. So, in this paragraph, she says that usually when someone is writing a diary, they list down all the facts about them in a formal manner, which the author does not want to do. This is because she wanted to give her need for a friend a shape, and thus decides to name the diary as Kitty, hoping that someone would read her diary one day. She thinks that writing without giving details about the background story would be ineffective. So, despite not wanting to do so, she gives brief details about the incidents of her life. Then, further, now see to this oral comprehension. What makes writing a diary a strange experience for Anne Frank? So, you write the answer that two reasons make writing in a diary a strange experience for Anne Frank. One, she has never written anything before, and second, perhaps no one will be interested in the thoughts of a 13-year-old school girl. Therefore, she decides to write a diary. Then the second question, why does Anne want to keep a diary? So Anne wants to keep a diary because she had hardly any friends. She did not have any true friend to confide in. Secondly, she can't talk about day-to-day happenings. In keeping a diary, she would do so. She could record all her feelings and all the incidents that occur in her life. Then third, why did Anne think she could confide more in her diary than in person? You can say that Anne thought so because she does not have a true friend to confide in. She did not trust any human friend, and she did not take anyone as her true friend or very close friend whom she could share her feelings with. And she treats the diary not to use it the way most people use, but she would treat it as her best friend. Therefore, she named the diary as Kitty, and then diary would be closer than any friend. Now, further in the next paragraph, we will see what is there. Since no one, so she writes that since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty, if I were to plunge right, and I'd better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. This has already been explained now in this paragraph. Now the next paragraph says, my father, the most adorable father I've ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12th June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. My father emigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margot went to Holland in December and I followed in February, when I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margot. So first we'll see to the hard words. Adorable means lovable. Emigrated means leave one's own country in order to settle permanently in another. And plunked means to put down. So in these lines she says that she expresses the feelings about her father. She says that, and she refers her father as the most lovable father one could get. Her father married her mother when he was at the age of 36 and she was 25. She and her sister Margot were both born in Frankfurt. And as soon as Anne turned 4, her father moved to Holland, followed by her mother in September. And while both the sisters stayed with their grandmother in Aachen, Margot was also sent to Holland in December, and after that Anne also moved to Holland in February, who was brought as a birthday present for Margot. Then further, the next paragraph says, I started right away at the Montessori nursery school. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started the first form. In the 6th form, my teacher was Mrs. Cupris, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell in the summer of 1941. Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation, so my birthday passed with little celebration. So in this paragraph, Anne says that in Holland, Annie was sent to Montessori nursery school and it was her first school. She started from first form and she had Mrs. Cupris, the headmistress, as her teacher in 6th form, who even cried at the time of farewell in 1941. The author's birthday could not be celebrated well because her grandmother fell ill and underwent an operation. Then further it says that grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. The 4 of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20th June 1942, and the solemn means very sad or characterized by deep sincerity, you can say, dedication of my diary. So in this paragraph she says that unfortunately her grandmother left them in January 1942 and misses her grandmother more than anyone knows. This year's birthday was to be celebrated with great zeal so as to compensate for last year's. She then mentions that her family is doing well, which sums up her background and brings her to present date of June 20, 1942, when she is writing her diary. And then we see further what she writes in her diary. She says, Dearest Kitty, and the date is written Saturday 20th June 1942. Our entire class is quaking in its boots. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting, that is the parent teachers meeting, in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form, or who will move in the next class, and who will be kept back. Half the class is making bets. GN and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, CN and Jakes, who have staked their entire holiday savings on the bet. From morning to night, it's you are going to pass, no, I'm not, yes, you are, no, I'm not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outbursts can't calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class would be kept back, but teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. So, first we'll see to the meaning of the hard words. Quaking is shake or tremble. Staked means bet or chanced. Pleading means to make an emotional appeal. Glances, take a brief or hurried look. Outburst means a sudden release of strong emotion. And dummies are an object designed to resemble and serve as substitute for the real or usual one. Unpredictable, which cannot be predicted, or changeable, you can say that. So, in these lines, she says that on June 20th, 1942, Anne begins writing in her diary, addressing it as her friend Kitty. She mentions how her entire class is nervous about their result. It is unpredictable and will be decided by a meeting of teachers in which they will select students to be moved to the next class or kept back, that means detained. Many students were making bets, and some had put in their entire summer savings at stake. And she and her friend G also made fun of the nervous boys. They kept on saying to each other that I am not going to pass, while others would console them and say yes, they would. G was polite as she tried to stop them from making noise while Anne scolded them. But none of it worked. According to Anne, about a quarter of the class should not be allowed to pass because they hardly respond or take part in any of the activities. She refers to them as dummies, but this may not be the case because teachers' decisions can't be predicted. You cannot guess what the teachers are thinking and whom they are going to keep back and whom they are going to pass and move and let them move to the next class. So here it is very true that the teachers are unpredictable. You also might be thinking the same thing. So now the next paragraph says that I am not so worried about my girlfriends. Girlfriend means all the girls were good in studies, and myself will make it. The only subject I am not sure about is maths. So here Anne has clearly stated that she did not like maths and she was very poor in maths. She was very weak in maths. Anyway, all we can do is wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. So these lines clearly says that she is not bothered about her friends because she is sure that they will pass. All the girls in the class, they were good in studies and they are going to pass. There was no doubt. The only subject that she is unsure about is mathematics, and she seems to be having a tough time with the subject. But all they could do is wait for the result and not lose their hope. So this is all in this class, and we'll continue with this chapter in our next class. And you will have to do all the questions of the oral comprehension check in your notebook. You write the answers by yourself.